So today we're gonna be talking about chapters Gautama and Awakening from the book Siddhartha Part 1.
Everything started when Siddhartha decided to leave his family, his house, his home, of the Brahmins to go in search of his happiness and his goals in life. He first decides to go with the samanas, but he didn't find what he was looking for there. So he went looking for the Buddha, and then he left the Buddhas also because he still didn't find what he was looking for.
Yeah, like my thoughts on that were I had many questions during that part of the book because I was wondering if he was ever going to find some teaching that pleased him, not just because he's always doubting everything and the teachings. So I thought if he was ever gonna be satisfied.
Also, yes, and also while I was reading, I noticed that some words were capitalized, such as self and being, and I wonder why are those words capitalized? If they have any sort kind of meaning.
Yeah, I think I saw that too, but I haven't found the answer. Another thing that was really that I didn't understand was when Siddhartha said that a person could not learn, and then he says he's going to go to the Buddha to learn his teachings. So that was contradictory because if he cannot learn anything, why would he go to learn the teachings of the Buddha?
Yes, and in Camila, here in the book it says, "It was the self, the character and nature of which I wished to learn. I wanted to read of myself the self, to conquer it, but I could not conquer it." I think that part means that he wants to be something else than what he is right now. He wants to be those things that make him happy and not what society plans makes him do or expects him to do.
Yeah, but what is weird for me is that what are the things that make him happy, because he's not happy with anything.
So. Exactly. And also in the awakening section, he says that he's going to stop to torture himself to get rid of the self. However, I don't understand if he was planning to reach happiness or find happiness by torturing himself. I don't believe it's the way to achieve it.
Yeah. Okay. So in the previous chapter, in Gautama before awakening, he said he wasn't gonna follow the Buddha, and then I was kind of puzzled because I thought that he finally found his master, or the person he wanted to follow. But it turns out that he wasn't happy with his teachings either. So I pointed out that maybe he lost himself while trying to find something that he really isn't. So
exactly, I can connect with what you're saying with us, with I don't know, with teenagers and people, because sometimes we're not happy with what we have and we just keep looking, and so we sometimes say we want to do something because we think that makes us happy, and as soon as we start doing it, we see that that is not the result that we were wanting, so we change things, and we're constantly changing things without achieving until we stick to something that really makes us happy and everything.
yeah, I totally agree with that. I can connect with that too, because I think that we're always looking at the bigger picture, and we never see what's really going on with our lives, and that I think happens to Siddhartha too. He in awakening, I think this was when he finally saw the smaller picture, not just the big one, and he awoke. Maybe that's why the chapter is called like that, because he finally found himself. Right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Like an example of when he's saying that like an example of the little things in life is when he starts describing, like, for example, in page 37, he says, he saw the sunrise over forest and mountains and set over the distant palm shore. At night he saw the stars in the heavens and the sickle-shaped moon floating like a boat in the blue. He saw trees, stars, animals, clouds. Like all of that he had never noticed because he was always so worried about who was he gonna follow and finding himself, and maybe he had never seen what was really happening in his life.
Yes, I agree with you. Also, in the chapter of Gautama, when he decides that he's going to try out the Buddhas, I think that when he started, he felt really confident with himself, trying ahead, and maybe he thought that it was going to be the last time. And so one of the questions that I make to myself while I read is if he is ever going to find the teachings that he is planning to achieve,
Yeah.
or his goals.
Yeah, I think that maybe he will like end up making up his own teachings, because if he's not, like, he doesn't like anybody else's teachings, maybe he should make his own to follow what he believes in, because no one else believes the thing that he believes.
I agree with your prediction. I also think that that is like the conclusion, because you're never happy with you. People are never going to do what you want. You have to look it for yourself and fight for it and everything.
Yeah, I think that that's what he's gonna end up doing in the end.
In the chapter, in one of the first chapters of the book, when Siddhartha says, speaking to himself, what is meditation, what is abandonment of the body, what is fasting, what is the holding of breath, it is a flight from the self, it is a temporary escape from the torment of self. With what I read afterwards, I think that during life, you go like answering the questions every time. With every minute you live, you cannot just expect to know everything at once without experiencing it. And so I think that what Siddhartha needs to do in order to be able to find happiness is live life day by day, instead of trying to answer in one thing, everything at the same time. And with experience, he will find his way out, I think.
I think that what you're saying connects to the teachings of the Tao, like everything they think is about learning from experience. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that Siddhartha kind of resembled Jesus in the beginning of the book, because he was like disappointed with the world, and he, like, for example, in page 2, it says that everybody loves Siddhartha, and then it says there was yet no joy in his own heart. So I think that this is kind of like in the Bible when Jesus, like, he sees that the world is happy, but he is not happy with the world. So maybe this made me think that Jesus somehow was like Siddhartha.
Camila, do you think that after Siddhartha finds his happiness or his teachings that he approves, do you think he's going to do something to change the world and the way the world thinks?
I don't think that he will like change the world so radically. I think that he will change himself, and that's the only thing that seems to matter to him, like his own teachings, because, for example, he leaves his friend behind because he just wants to find himself. He doesn't want others to do that. So I think he won't end up teaching, like, changing the world, but changing himself.
Yes, I see what you're saying and what you're getting at, and what you said that he only concentrates on himself and his happiness. I agree with that because in page 34, the author explains that Govinda had become a monk, and thousands of monks were his brothers, wore the same gown, and shared his beliefs and spoke his language. But he, Siddhartha, where did he belong? Whose life would he share? Whose language would he speak? He's like, the author is like saying that Govinda found who he really wanted to be. However, Siddhartha was still lost and hadn't found his teachings yet.
Yeah. I think he won't find them till the end. Like he has found that somehow what he wants to do, but I don't think that till the end he will realize what he really is looking for.
Yes, I agree also.